Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Roll it, Tony.
It's Torrence Brannon-Reese. I'm founder and director of an organization called Family, the Foundation for Arts, Mentoring, Leadership, and Innovation. What do? We help people, particularly young people who may be in trouble or who may be getting into trouble if we don't intervene at the right time. So what Family does is we go into the schools and we spend quality time with young people who are in need. Young people just like me. I grew up without a father, a single mother, and we had to make it.
Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest today continues to provide enormous educational, culturally, and artistically relevant programs and services to youth and communities in need right here in Los Angeles. Now, one of his projects includes an annual film festival that has attained large notoriety. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Torrence Brannon-Reese.
Good morning.
Hey, how you doing, brother? How you doing, Torrence?
I'm doing just fine.
Welcome to The Actor's Choice. First of all, please tell our viewers, where you from?
I'm from New Orleans, man. There's only one New Orleans.
It is.
Not New Orleans, New Orleans.
New Orleans.
That's right.
What was it like for you growing up in New Orleans back in those days, back in the day?
Well, it was beautiful, sometimes ugly on the side of the racism that was going on. But in spite of that, you know, New Orleans was a beautiful place to grow up in, particularly if you love music, which I do love. And I consider myself a musician, a singer, entertainer by birth. And so I grew up in the right place for that. You know, I just had a great time, you know, hanging with my friends and singing on the street corners and going down to the French Quarter and singing down there and putting a hat out for our money and stuff like that. And then I was into sports pretty heavily also. My mom, I always give credit to her for everything that I am. She raised me and my three brothers to love education, to love culture. She taught us to have some kind of class and style. So my mother, Gwendolyn, I love you. She's 81 years young. And still doing her thing.
Right. Thank you to the lady. Take it to the lady, because this young man, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know it, man went to USC, what I call it, USC, and got himself a master's degree in social work.
Yes,
so he ain't no dummy. That didn't happen that way. So what made you decide to leave LA and come to LA?
LA. Well, I had been in the military since by the age of 22.
What branch?
I'm an Air Force veteran.
Oh, I ain't mad at you. I'm Navy. That's okay. Yes, all right, brother. Thank you for your service to this country. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And so I went back to New Orleans, and at that time, you know, I was young and I wanted adventure and everything, and I was singing, and I had opened for the Manhattans with a group of mine back then in those days, and the lead singer, Gerald Austin, and I became friends. He suggested that I go to one of two places, either Nashville or LA. And Nashville didn't sit right with me. so it was about LA. It was some other reasons I came, but I came to pursue my career and to, you know, further my education. So I went to Southwest College, I'm always proud to say that. And then to Dominguez Hills. And then later, years later, after founding my nonprofit Family, I went to USC.
Outstanding. Now, you were very involved in numerous entertainment ventures. One started back in 2004 when a founder by the name of Maurice Kitchen. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sticking it. Let me stop. Let's go back to 1993. Let's take it easy.
Okay.
You founded a nonprofit agency providing life enrichment and mentoring programs for at-risk youth. It's called FAMLI Incorporated. Tell us about it, please, sir.
Well, it started out as Fighters for African Mental Liberation International. And we were intimately involved in community work and gang truce movement. We started as an organization that wanted to teach and share Black history with the residents. And film was always a part of that, even back in those days. I collected film and I would always, you know, loan films out and stuff like that. And back in those days, you know, we had the tapes. So you didn't have YouTube and all of that stuff that we have access to now. And we started youth programs, the signature programs are See a Man, Be a Man, and Princess to Queen. So they've been around since '94. we started in 1993 because the organization was actually founded in 92, incorporated in 93. Working with people like Maxine Waters and Jim Brown and John Mack of the Urban League, bless his soul. We started the Malcolm X Festival, and we did that for 15 years and grew it into the largest event honoring Malcolm in the country. And so that stated, you know, it's been just a wonderful journey now, celebrating 30 years next year of family organization. And again, now it's the foundation for arts, mentoring, leadership, and innovation. And we have a 100% graduation rate with our Black male youth. I'm always proud to say that because, you know, I think everybody who loves, you know, themselves as Black people should be proud of that.
Amen. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're very involved in a lot of numerous entertainment ventures. One started back in 2005 when a gentleman named Maurice Kitchen and 4 other guys, including you, put together a doo-wop group called Street Corner Renaissance. The rest is history. Look at them handsome young man. Look at them handsome young man.
Yeah, so that's Tony, that's Bob Henley. He's the newest member of the group. He sung with Smokey Robinson for 10 years and sung with the Temptations. And now he really made it because he's with us. Then we have Anthony Tony Sneed, the tallest guy in the group, right next to me. Then there's me in the middle, and then there's Maurice Kitchen, the founder of the group. Then there's Charles Sonny Banks, the elder statesman of the group. So yeah, we're a group, man. We're really a group. Wow. Doo-wop. Greatest doo-wop group standing.
Amen. Amen. Now, you love to entertain. As noted this past week, I got a picture I think that folks need to see when you were in a concert at the prestigious, luxurious LA City Club. Here's a photo of you with 2 beautiful young ladies. Who are those gorgeous ladies there with you?
Well, the one to my right is Queen Mother Nzenga Ijukwa. She's an activist in the community and an artist. She has an album coming out pretty soon. And then on my left is a lady that I've been in love with since I was 10 years old. That's Judy Pace, and that's a friend of yours, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Whom we're going to honor on the 20th
yes.
At 5:30 at the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Plaza for a Lifetime Achievement Award. And we're also partnering with her to help her get her late husband, Kurt Flood, the great Kurt Flood, enshrined into the Hall of Fame, Baseball Hall of Fame, which is something that must happen, I should say. So yeah, I was glad to be with those 2 ladies at night.
See, it's amazing. People got cameras in this town, man. They take a picture of you. Say, where'd you get that picture, bro? Funky. Now, I don't need to tell you about Hollywood being an entertainment mecca because you know that very well, sir. In 2012, you started what is now known as your signature event, the I've Known Rivers Film Festival of Arts, Culture, and Education. What was the first film festival like, sir?
The first film?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't find, but I did find this one. This is the 7th.
Yeah, you know, wow, man, that was actually 11 years ago because I took 1 year off to finish my master's degree. And so it's actually been 11 years, but it's 10 years of the festival because again, you know, I just couldn't do it that year, 2017. But anyway, I can't remember the first film, but I do remember it was Marcia Meredith, Reverend Marcia Meredith's church over in LA, over on La Brea and West Boulevard, right across the street from James Burke's used to be at the, what's the name of that place?
The theater. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about over there.
Yes.
It's right over in that area. And we started over there.
Marla Gibbs used to own it at one time.
Right. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name.
That's okay. I get those moments all the time.
James Burks was the founder of the African Marketplace, good friend of mine, mentor. At any rate, we started there with about 12 films. We had some entertainment back then. And it just kind of went from there to Lamert Park, the Carras Unity Center. And then, you know, when COVID came in, I didn't want to stop. I wanted to find a way to do it by any means necessary, as Malcolm would say. Malcolm is one of my spiritual heroes. And so we said, let's do a drive-in movie. You know, people can stay in their cars. And so now it's a drive-in style film festival. And we're going to do it as long as we need to do it that way. But I'm enjoying doing it that way because it brings back a nostalgic kind of feeling for people.
Now, this is a fundraiser, right?
It is a fundraiser for our nonprofit. And people can reach out to us at familysoul.org, FAMLI soul, SOUL.com, I should, at gmail.com, I should say. Familysoul.org is the website. Gotcha. So yeah, it's 10th anniversary. We're very happy to host it this year, and everybody should come out and be a part of it.
Okay. Now you got a full schedule. Can you tell us about the schedule, the
Yes,
location?
it's a social justice themed festival every year, but this year particularly with this attack on Black history under the guise of critical race theory, which is not something that's taught in elementary or middle schools or anything like that. But we chose that theme so that we can fight against that affront to our culture and our history. So critical race theory, social justice by any means necessary is the theme of this year's event. Again, it's the 10th annual I've Known Rivers Film Festival of Arts, Culture, and Education. And we epitomize that concept by making sure that there's great film content, but also great live entertainment, speakers, all kind of food. You're gonna have great food out there, and yeah, it's just an event the whole family can attend and enjoy themselves. $40 per car, and again, that money goes to support the youth and community arts programs that we espouse under the organization.
How many filmmakers do you have signed up already?
Oh man, well this year we cut it from 3 days to 2, so we have about 3 each day, so about 6 filmmakers. Altogether, yeah. And one of the films that we got from Zimbabwe is called The Story of Queen Nahanda, which is a story that needs to be told that the Zimbabweans have been trying to tell for many years. They finally got a film done, so that's our signature film on Saturday night. And I think it comes on about around 7:30 or 8 o'clock, somewhere around there.
Where can I get a schedule at?
We can get the schedule on our website at familysoul.org. It's also on Facebook. People can click into I've Known Rivers Film Festival on Facebook and see the schedule. And then they can call me if they want to. But yeah, we have it all over the social media, press releases all out, everything. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, there's a lot of current technology right now with a device like this, one of these little guys.
Yes,
you
sir.
can make a movie.
Right.
Technology is there.
It's there, man. So we don't have any excuses. I'm thinking of people like Oscar Micheaux, who had to really struggle to get films made and to create an industry and create an audience because Hollywood wouldn't accept what he was doing. And we still have some of that struggle going on now. Tomorrow night, for example, we do our Tuesday night film and discussion series. We're going to be talking about this film, The Harder They Fall, which is one of the very few films about African Americans, about Black folks doing the Wild Wild West,
Okay.
And we're going to discuss that film and filmmaking in general, Black filmmaking in general. Because I think we've come a long way, but we have a long way to go. And I don't think we have any excuses as to why we can't, produce good content these days. Yeah, there's a lot of stories that we can tell. And so I'm excited for the future.
Yeah, that excitement, we can feel it exuding out on you, my friend.
Yes,
going out there and I'm going to be there. A lot of folks going to be there. It's going to be a special night. Like you said, you mentioned Judy Pace.
Yeah.
She's getting a special award.
Yes.
And because of her husband, late, great Kurt Flood.
Mm-hmm.
And can you give us the website one more time? What was that telephone number?
Yeah, telephone number 323-864-2656. 323-864-2656. The website is Family Soul, FAMLISOUL.org. They can go there and find out everything. I also want to thank you for having me here, and thank you for being.
You should have been here a long time ago.
being who you are, man, and doing all the great work that you've done. So I'm really honored to sit here and watch your handsome face. And also, one thing I want to mention, Ron, you are going to be a part of a photo moment. We've been doing what we call the classic photos. It started with Horace Tapscott and Billy Higgins and the great artists in Leimert Park. So we're going to do that on Saturday at about 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Right when we're honoring Miss Pace. So if you know of any actors who are deserving or any musicians who are deserving of being in that photo, I know you're going to choose the right people. So let them know to show up and become a part of that photo. But they have to register on Eventbrite, which is on our website. They can go to the website and do that.
Okay. We're out of time, but any last words, sir?
Well, any last words? I would just say that I've Known Rivers is a part of my heart and soul, my gift to our community. And I want to invite everybody to come out and enjoy themselves and learn at the same time. So in the words of Don Cornelius, I wish you peace, love, and soul.
Oh, yeah. Miss that show. Thank you so much for being here. Our guest, sir, we'll definitely have looking forward to a great time. Best wishes.
Thank you
So much, Torrey.
Peace.
This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it, Tony.
I'm Ann Noble, and I am currently the company manager of Antias Theater Company. I am also an actress and a playwright and a screenwriter, and I also teach Shakespeare and storytelling to high school students in all walks of life.
One second.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today is a director, an actress, and a writer. This lady's got over 25 years of professional experience in theater. Wow. She's quite educated. I'll tell you about that in just a moment. She knows what it's like to put on a stage performance. I want to thank your publicist for introducing me to you. You are a definite asset to this business. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ann Noble. And thank you so much for coming out today, as we say.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome to the Actor's Choice. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You, like I said, you have a tremendous biography of the work that you have done. I'm told that you are a Chicago native.
That's right.
Oh, okay. That's Chicago or Chi-Town.
Oh, look at you. You even got the River Green.
Oh, yeah. What was it? St. Patrick's Day, probably?
The St. Patrick's Day. The joke in Chicago is they can dye the River Green one day of the year. Can't they dye it blue the rest of the days?
My goodness. I can tell. Let me say here again. I'm told that you have a BS in Theater School of Speech at Northwestern University.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. All right. I'm told I've been told a whole lot of things about you. I'm told that you went to the Yale School of Drama, the David Geffen in Oxford, England.
Yes. I did a summer program. It's called Midsummer in Oxford. And we spent, 4 weeks, 6 weeks in London and England and Oxford, just learning all about Shakespeare, classical theater. And yeah, it was pretty incredible.
Wow. That's one of the things I love about Yale. I had a daughter just came out of law school there. And as you walk around the campus, just a marvelous campus. A lot of edumacation, as I call it, is being gained there.
I didn't get to see the campus. I was only in England. So I got the teachers, the professors, all that good stuff. And they combined it with all these British teachers. So I got this sort of best of both worlds. Got this wonderful group from Yale, and then this amazing group of British actors, directors that were our main teachers. So it was a really wonderful combination.
Good. I'm told that you like Shakespeare. You do Shakespeare. To be or not to be, that you do. Yep. You do Chekhov style, all the 8 styles, and voice technique. Let me see. What's that about? You speak 3 languages, I'm told.
Oh, sort of, loosely. I mean, like a little bit. Like I can do I got some Russian, I got some French, and I got some Italian, but, don't drop me in there without a prep. You know what I'm saying?
I am told that I'm told that you love to teach. It's one of the things you love to do.
Absolutely. I kind of did it when I was younger. When I was a kid, I always was like, once I found something I love to do, I love to share it with someone else. And that's become kind of my main thing these days. I teach over at the Berg Studios, which I love. Wonderful studio in LA. I also teach with Antias Theater Company, my sort of home-based theater company. I'm now teaching at Hushin College in the studio, which is a wonderful school. It's on the lot in the LA Center studio, and just working with young people just coming out to LA, trying to find their way. I love that as well. And then I also teach incarcerated youth, Shakespeare, poetry, writing, performing as well. So all aspects of teaching I am definitely in.
Wow. Cheerleading, you do cycling, you do equestrian English, general, show jumping, Western. You do swimming, breaststroke. You do roller skating. You do running. Under dance category, ballet, ballroom, hip hop, jazz, modern, swing, take. Ladies and gentlemen, this lady moves.
It's going to take me a while to get all that back into gear, though. That's a lot. I was younger. Like, I need prep time is what I'm saying.
Oh, gosh. It's one of the things that I find is that what is it about for you? What is it about Shakespeare that turns you on?
What I love about it is that it's a heartbeat. It's the heartbeat of the way we are as human beings. Like our natural heartbeat is the rhythm of Shakespeare's words. And what I love is, it's so, some of us are so distant from Shakespeare. We think it's this height, this like sort of ivory tower up there, so precious up there kind of thing because it's so different, but it's not. If you think about Shakespeare, he was a poor actor or sort of low middle class actor trying to make a living in a business. He was writing for actors, actor himself, in the theater, trying to make things work. And he was very human. And I think I love the expression that he saw the world around him, he spoke about it, and he put it to a beat, which to me sounds like our modern hip hop artists and spoken word poets. So I think by studying Shakespeare, it's not that you're trying to, it's just, I think, comforting to know that 400 years ago, people were dealing with the same stuff. Dealing with authority, falling in love, parents don't like what I do, the world is messed up and I don't know what to do about it, I'm in a tight spot, I have, revenge thoughts, I don't know what's the right thing to do. So I think that Shakespeare is a way to remind us today that we're poets and that we can be poets. It's not that Shakespeare's the one we try to be like, it's that you could be a Shakespeare. Because all he did was look at the world around him, write stuff down, put it to a beat. And maybe you could do that too. So I think it's inspiring.
I read something, if I can, of what you said. You said you credit Shakespeare with teaching you respect for all writers and to always look for the depth and humanity in all texts.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I look at every piece of writing I get as an actor,
yes,
if I'm directing or, just teaching a scene.
Yes.
I assume the writer is Shakespeare. I assume they're the best possible writer. They have the best possible intentions, and everything they wrote down has meaning.
Yes.
And that helps me to step into the writer's point of view and see what they were trying to do. Maybe they failed a little bit. Maybe it's not perfect, but it helps me to think, oh, wait, what were they going for? Because as an actor, my job is to serve the writer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's not to give over completely to the writer, but it's to serve. So I'm the instrument and the music goes through me. And I like to teach that to my students. I think that takes the pressure off sometimes. I don't have to be perfect, but it also honors my own feelings and my own intuition. But what was the writer trying to say? And I learned that from Shakespeare. If you go in and look at the rhythm, look at the beat, look at the metaphors and see what it means to you, then you're powerful that way. You're powerful that way. If you figure out, oh, they're doing this. And it's not I know some people talk about Shakespeare like, oh, you're supposed to say it this way. No, the rhythm is not how you say it. The rhythm is what is Shakespeare trying to tell you about your character? Because the way we talk is character. If I use a lot of fancy metaphors, that tells you something about me. If I'm just going, what's up? And I don't speak very much, that tells you something about my character. So that's why I think Shakespeare can teach us so much.
We have a couple of still photos, but I do have one video. Tony, if you can move up to number 36A, where Anne gives advice on learning Shakespeare despite being in the quarantine. You discuss how to approach a Shakespeare soliloquy. If you could roll that, Coney, I would certainly appreciate that.
Experience over these many years of being a theater professional, being in school, how I approach a Shakespeare soliloquy. So I'm going to walk you through basically what I do. And if it works for you, if it makes sense, awesome. And if it doesn't, take what you need and keep looking. Because I have found when working on Shakespeare, it's absolutely best to grab as much information as you can. Because I think we all learn a little bit differently. Some of us are visual, some of us are auditory, some of us are tactile. And so please take what works for you.
And what you just said is off the hook. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hear the entire tape of what she did, go up on YouTube and put in there Ann Noble, and you will see what I just showed 30 seconds. And we're only allowed to show 30 seconds. But what's that, about an hour and some change on that particular video?
I did, yes. I was asked in the quarantine to put together just my thoughts on Shakespeare. It was actually for a group of, I think they were junior high kids, just to give them some how to break down a soliloquy. And I put it all together, what I know, what I do personally. So I do what I say. I just put it together, and it turned out to be an hour long. I had no idea it was going to be that long, but it's actually the format I use today. The quarantine gave me this opportunity to kind of consolidate. I don't know if to consolidate, maybe crystallize my own technique, the way I approach things, and it gave me that opportunity to do that. So that's what that is. Yeah, I put it together.
Yes, but when I saw that, I said, "Flo, put that on, folks. That's good advice coming your way, and it don't cost you nothing. It's free as heck."
Oh yeah, no, it's all free. I heard recently from a friend of mine I'm taking a class with that she said all the best education's free. And I thought that was really interesting. I do a lot for free. But what I get out of that is when you watch the light come on in somebody's eyes, when they get something and they know how to do something, that's worth everything, and that's priceless. That's my gift, and that's the gift I get, is seeing someone else go, oh, I could do this. That's everything.
Current plays you're a member of the Echo Theater Company, currently playing Ortulana in the play called Poor Clare.
Yes.
Can you tell us about it?
Yes. First off, it was the play that we got.
There you go.
Oh yes, there it is. We were shut down in COVID 2 days before opening, and bless Alana Dietz and Chris Fields at the Echo Theater Company, bless them. They kept that set up, and they said, we're going to do this play no matter what. So here it is 18 months later, and we finally got to do this play. It's so special to me. I do, as I said, a lot of work with the incarcerated. I'm also a jail chaplain. So I work with a lot of people that are on the margins of society. And Poor Clare is about a woman's journey to realizing she has to do the same thing. And I play her mother, who's basically trying to get her married off to a rich man. And Claire is having a different experience. So it's a beautiful play. It's so funny. The language is modern, but the costumes are traditional. And so it's so accessible because you're laughing and oh, look at this girl. She's just doing her life. And then you realize, oh gosh, she's having a call. She's having a mission happen inside her, and she needs to do something about it. So it's a beautiful play because I think it forces us to ask some questions at a deeper level that we're already asking. And it's a beautiful production. Everybody, the cast is extraordinary. I just also love working at the Echo. They just do such incredible work. Very, very bold and brave and honest work, which I think we need right now in this world. So yeah, also, it's a beautiful play, and you will laugh. It is funny.
You're a busy lady. You're also currently a member of Antias Theater Company,
yes,
including Zip Code Plays LA, season number 1 and number 3.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So yeah, when the quarantine hit, all the theater companies were like, what do we do? And Antias, Antias came out of a group of classical theater actors that were working professionally in TV and film, but just wanted to keep their sort of classical theater muscle alive 20 some odd years ago. And so we were like, wait, we know how to use our voices. We know how to do radio plays. Let's do something with our voices. And we have an incredible sound designer actor in our group named Jeff Gardner. And he does a lot of like Foley work for LA Theater Works, a lot of stuff like that. And he's like, I could do this. So we started creating this. We had a bunch of writers as part of our Playwrights Lab, and each one picked a zip code in Los Angeles and wrote a short play about it, 20 minutes to 25 minutes. And we created these radio plays back at the beginning of the pandemic, and it became such a hit, so successful that we now have done season 2 and season 3. So I directed one in season 1. And then I have written one for season 3, and the one I've written for season 3 takes place in the women's jail in Linwood, California, in CRDF, where I go in as a chaplain. And I've written a story, a mother and daughter, and a visit there, which I'm so excited about. We have incredible actors, Juana Martinez and Claudia Elmore. Directed by Jonathan Munoz-Prue, who works a lot over at A Noise Within. It's just incredible director, wonderful human. So yeah, I'm super excited about it. And it's amazing with these zip code plays for Antias, they go all over the world. Everyone can listen. So this is what's been so, as much as the pandemic was so horrible for so many reasons, it opened up this access to the digital world where we can connect to people all over the world. I mean, I have students I'm teaching in Russia, Sweden, Spain, London, England, South Africa, all over the world.
You're in the master program, aren't you?
I'm in a master program. I'm taking a class right now for CPE, which is called Clinical Pastoral Education. It's to become certified to become a chaplain. So that's what I'm taking right now.
We have just a few moments left. I just want to say one thing to you before you leave. It's an honor and a pleasure to meet you. There's another gentleman coming behind you. He also does what you do. And it's good to talk to people who do stage work, because the bone that I have to pick with a lot of actors and actresses who come here to Los Angeles with illusions of grandeur. I want to be a star. Yeah, that's nice, but I don't see you getting up on that stage. What's your problem?
Yep. You got to be in the theater because it forces you to use your whole body. And it forces you to really find out who you are. You can cheat a little bit in this box, right? But on the stage, you got to use your whole body. And I think there's something we have learned through this pandemic, the power of presence, the power of being present with another human being. You know, I tell my students that if you're not paying attention to your scene partner, you're just in your head worrying about what you do, you are denying the other person your presence. And that is the greatest gift you have, is your presence. Don't ever underestimate the power of that to change your circumstances and another human being and yourself.
And Noble, any more words to say?
No, just thank you for doing what you do. This is lovely. I'm so grateful to have to talk with someone who is interested in theater and why people do what they do, not just the end result, but why they do what they do. I think it's so important to talk about that process. So thank you for that.
I want to thank you for being here today. I know we all learned a little bit today about a guy named Shakespeare. Okay. And special thanks to your publicist, Lucy Pollock. That's my girl.
Yeah, she's the best.
That's the best. She's the best. Again, best wishes to you. Nice working with you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it, Tony.
I gave you the opportunity to provide for your family. Be the man in this house.
Exactly.
Shut the fuck up, Ronnie. I got this.
Well, I wanted to let you know I just found a way for me to go to school.
School? Ooh. Oh, that's cute. That's real cute. So what you think you's gonna leave me?
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today is a storyteller. Now, as a child, his father made him write stories and then read them aloud in the hallway as punishment for lies and mischief. He's still in trouble. He's an actor, writer, director, producer, mentor. And if that's not enough, he's a creative collaborator who creates any medium that he can grasp. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bruce A. Lemon Jr. Hi, Bruce. Greetings and welcome to the Actor's Choice. Can you hear me now? Is your microphone? Your mic is muted.
Oh, apologies. Greetings, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, would you please tell us where you were born and raised at?
I was born and raised in Watts, born in Watts, California, on the street that I grew up on. I like to say I was born in the streets on the other side of the tracks because it's an actual geographic truth.
Yes, it is.
The train tracks are right there, and then the rest of the city that I didn't go to pretty much at all growing up is on the other side.
When I saw that, I said to myself, interesting, Watts. People don't understand the Watts riot, the things that went on in Watts. And you grew up with it. I was born and raised in Harlem. I grew up with it.
Mm-hmm. I lived in Harlem for a while as well.
Did you now? What part?
I was on 123rd and Adam Clayton Powell, right around the corner from the.
Oh yes, I know where you was. I was on 129th Street and 8th Avenue. That's where I used to live.
We took the same train. We took
the same train. Oh yeah, 125th Street. Yeah. Get on 125th Street. Yeah. Wow, it's good. It's good to be around. As I go through my research on you, I found that your first work that you did, where you got your first IMDb actor credit, was a movie called Gang Tapes.
Yeah. Interesting story about that show. It was filmed. Some of the things that we filmed were at the Mafundi Auditorium. Which is actually where Watts Village Theater Company produces shows now. And one of the associate producers on that program was actually one of the co-founders of Watts Village Theater Company. So that's how I really got involved with the company early on, and just my early introductions to the performing arts and to professional theater and professional work all came from like kind of sprung out of that whole thing. And my dad actually campaigned for me to be in the film when they were looking for locations. They were in the company was in the neighborhood looking for locations to film at, and my dad kind of pushed me into the mix one, which is really good. So it kind of just started from there and kept on rolling. And I've been in contact. Sorry, I have a train that lives near me.
That's okay. That's all right. You're real, just as real as real can be.
Yeah, like dead serious. I'm on that side of the tracks. Yeah, it's not gonna stop blowing. That's but yeah, okay. So Quinn Drew was one of the associate producers on that film, and years later, I end up in the company that him and Lynn Manning founded. In '96, Watts Village Theater Company, and now I'm the co-AD of the company now.
Gotcha. Let's go back just a little bit. You graduated from Hampton University with a bachelor in acting.
Yes.
And then you went to New York City, which you just talked about. Worked at the Juilliard School.
Mm-hmm.
Busy man.
Yeah, it was an internship in stage management and production assistance. And I worked in all the shops, in props, in lighting, in the scene shop. Worked on orchestra concerts, stage managing some of those, dance. Really got immersed in the wide array of performing arts, and which is why I kind of juggle a lot of things now. It's always been my thing.
You heard what I said to the lady who preceded you about how I feel about actors and actresses who, for some odd reason, they want to be a star, but they don't want to get up on the stage. I have a problem with that.
Theater's hard.
I know, that's right.
Theater is hard.
It is.
Yeah, theater's hard. Actually, I went to see Seven Guitars last night, and a couple of my friends were in the production over at Nose Within, and I got the feeling when I was watching. I was like, oh wow, I need to be on the stage like tomorrow or tonight even, because they were killing it. It was amazing. Yeah.
I should mention also that you went to the New School for Drama, got an MFA.
Yes.
Excellent. I'm a teacher myself, and people don't understand who they want to be a star, and I explain to them, no, you got to go to school first. That's how you do it. Get an education first, and then you can work your way back. You can learn stuff, you know.
Well, it's about training. It's about training. I mean, I do think that it's not even a belief. It's just a fact. We are all storytellers. You know, but it does take skill to do an emotionally demanding or physically demanding show 8 times a week, and to be the same show, especially when it comes to stuff like combat and intimacy, and like these things have to be accurate. They have to be what you rehearsed, and that's a skill that is built through training, not something that you just have. I would like to believe that I just have or was born with, the skills that I have, but it's not true. Like I got my skills through training and through experience and through collaboration and learning from my colleagues and my teachers throughout the years.
How do you describe yourself as an actor?
Describe myself as an actor. Visceral comes to mind. Very natural. And grounded. I really love performing naturalism in a world that is magical. So I kind of bounce between naturalism and magical realism. Those are my two extremes, yes. Or maybe the extremes even. But those are my two extremes.
You did another movie in 2016 called Cream.
Oh yes. Yeah, that was a fun project. That was a fun project. The film work actually is something that I'm starting to turn up more and more, because the primarily my work has been in theater, but now the assembled team of incredible filmmakers that I've come up with, that I've trained with, that I've worked on student films with. We're all rising to a different level at this moment, and finding the time to work together and make more products, make more work, tell more stories that speak to us, that speak to people that share the same experience, people that maybe don't see their experience on screen often enough, or depict it honestly. And we're geared up to make that push, to join the rest of the field that is also making that push. I know a lot of our colleagues are doing that work right now at a really high level, and we're all in the game. We're all in the game together, telling these stories and trying to represent honestly.
Here's another story you did this year. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Yes. That's one I'm really excited about, because it actually hasn't come out yet. But that's an example of the team of amazing storytellers that are coming together. Leading with Duran Jones, who's he's a producer on the film, but he's also a friend and a brother from college. We're also frat brothers for Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated together, and we ran into each other years ago after college. We ran into each other in New York City at an audition for I believe it was for Holla If You Hear Me, the Tupac play that was on Broadway for a short run years back. And for instance, then we've really stayed in touch more, and he's one of the producers on this film here, or the producer on this film here, that is about Hallelujah. Hallelujah is the young man sitting on the ground, and his little sister Layla is next to it. So this story is this short is a piece of the larger story that will come up later, but it's about these two brothers, Paper and Chetty, who are now responsible for their niece and nephew after their parents are killed, and these guys just aren't ready for it. You know, it's or maybe they are. At this moment, they feel like they're not ready for it because they're not parents. You know, they didn't have that responsibility. You know, their brother took care of basically everything, but now after a tragedy, they have to step up and take control of the situation and take care of these kids, and it ain't easy. So I'm very excited for the world to see that one.
Gotcha. I found a video on you. They call it "The Feeling Is Mutual." It's a very interesting fact. First of all, it's in black and white. That was nice. And Tony, if you'd be so kind, we'll roll it, Tony.
Well, hi to you too. Rush Hour was killer, but I got you these.
I told you I was on a diet.
Right. I forgot.
You smell like smoke.
I gave Jimmy a ride home, and he was smoking in the car.
All I can say is man and woman and man.
Oh yeah.
Interesting scene.
Yeah. From quite some time ago, I had the braces in that one. I think that was fresh out of grad school.
Yes.
Fresh out of grad school, and you know the thing is,
yeah.
What's great about it is it was a bunch of young storytellers coming together to make an independent film project, which now we have such access to, like the camera that we use to film that movie. I have one that is just as powerful, or not more powerful, on my phone now. So the accessibility for independent filmmakers has really changed a lot.
Now, in fact, the first guest we had today, he's got a film festival himself. If you look, I'll send a copy of this show to you so you can look back and get some information on it if you want to attend. But we were talking about the technology and what's going on with it right now. You're seeing more and more filmmakers every day, more and more storytellers. I love it. It's great.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, really young ones. Which I'm really passionate about, because you can learn so much from these younger storytellers who are as I really heard them referred to as digital natives, because they don't have to learn how to use these things. It's just intuitive. It's kind of like built in. and they're like extremely qualified editors that are like 13 years old. And I remember when finding an editor for your film project was really hard. But now it's a skill. It's a skill that is accessible, and a lot of people have it. So
and it's competitive. Yeah. It is
very
competitive.
Very
yes.
competitive.
Which is good. That's fine tuning. This way you get the best. Yes.
Still sharp and still. Everybody gets better by collaborating and competing with each other.
We only have a few moments left, but when I say Watts Village Theater, can you talk about that for a few minutes?
Yes, Watts Village Theater Company is in Watts and produces work that tells stories that resonate with the community of South Central Los Angeles, which is mostly Black and brown people, and we tell these stories in our community. You know, there are theaters all over LA, but none of them are on the east side of town. None of them are on the parts of the city where families have been growing up for years. They're all in the. I mean, not to say that there's not families in the other half of the city, but you know, there's a part of LA that people know of. That there's a part of LA that tourists attract to. There's a part of LA that people move from other parts of the world and move to, and that's like the West Side and the Valley and all that stuff. And that's where a lot of businesses and resources and luxuries are all at. But on the east side, in the hood, it's not here. It's not here. And we seek to change that by telling stories here, so that the kids down the street can come to the theater around the corner from their house and see a show and see themselves, and maybe we can get involved. And the more that happens, the more we gain as a field, and as a culture, and as a community.
Right. Lynn Manning, I remember him very well. He's gone now, as you know. Mm-hmm. In fact, I took him to his hotel several times when he was still alive. He'd get a ride. I said, "Come on, let's go and take you down the way." Do miss him. Miss him. His story. We had him as a guest on the show one time. We've done the show now for 5 years, so we pick up a lot of people. And he was one of our guests, and had a lot to. There he is, and had a lot to say about what it is. Yeah. Oh yeah. What it is. Yeah, we do miss him. What's in the what kind of programs are you guys putting on down at the school at the theater?
We actually just received a grant from the Los Angeles New Play.
Yes.
Actually.
Yes.
For a new play called The Hands That Could by Josh Wilder. That's looking at the effect of crack on the community, on one family. Yes. This one is set in Philly, but it's like a mirror image of my community and many communities across the nation. You know, right now, all our eyes are on the opioid epidemic that is ripping through the country.
Yes.
You know, but before the opioid epidemic was the crack epidemic, and our people, Black people, were not given the type of grace and concern that this current opioid crisis, mostly because, like I said, it affects white people, that has changed. There was no help, you know, and crack was allowed to rip through the community in such a way. Like, I grew up surrounded by people who were struggling, who were addicted, and I watched people transform. You know, you see someone walking on the street one day, healthy and clean and vibrant and full of life, and then you see them walking on the street another day and they're a shell of themselves because of these drugs that were, you know, brought into our community and allowed to rip through us in such a terrible fashion. And this play really looks at one family or one community, and we're going to bring it to the community in about a year and a half. So we have some time to strategize and build and workshop and figure out how to best tell the story, honestly, and build a service component around it, because I think that theater, especially when it's grappling with a societal issue or even an individual issue, but like mostly a societal issue, there needs to be a service component to it in a sense. Like in a way, we're kind of doing a service by telling the story and generating a conversation. But there also needs, I believe personally, there needs to be some kind of pairing with with an organization or a program or just resources to continue the conversation and make it so it doesn't stop at a conversation. You get the artistic expression, you have the conversation, you're affected, but what happens after that? How do we actually affect change? And that's what we're looking at trying to do. Also, the focus for Watts Village the past couple of years has been in the schools largely. And when I say largely, I mean myself and one colleague going to local high schools and hosting programs. I've only been able to do like one at a time because it was really just me. But the team is growing. We have a new artistic director in Donna Simone Johnson, who is amazing. You should actually go see her in Hit Dog Will Holler at Playwrights Arena. That's running right now. And I'm excited to see more of the amazing ideas and initiatives that she would like to push and to support those as a team. So we got some stuff coming up. But it's all about serving our community in the best way possible.
As we say, the struggle continues. Sincerely want to thank you for being here today, Bruce. Best wishes in your future work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for being here. I want to thank our sponsors, Harvey Brandman Photography as an Art, Ron Irwin's Lose Live, The Way to Lose Weight, Larry Buford's book for the future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm agent Carla Green, and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School and Actor Space. Much thanks to our guest today, actor, entertainer, producer, the I've Known Rivers Film Festival, a gentleman named Torrence Brannon-Reese. Ann Noble, an actor, director, an artistic director for the Watts Village Theater Company, Bruce A. Lemon Jr. An ever-growing worldwide audience, ladies and gentlemen. Be well. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.